Hello everyone, XV here from youtube.com/XVRogueGaming, and this is the 17th video in a weekly series I'm doing for Dota Cinema designed to take your game to the next level. Congratulations to this week's winner, Pengwei Chang, for posting a suggested topic in the comments for last week's tutorial. Remember that your topic doesn't need to be the one chosen. All you have to do to win is be subscribed to my channel and let me know something you'd like to learn about. This week's video is basic and geared towards new players. On my channel Monday, I'll be releasing an advanced guide to go with this one for players who really want to improve their game. This week's video is all about damage types. When we think about damage in Dota 2, most people only consider there to be two categories. Physical for their normal attacks, and magical damage from their spells. In fact, there are 4 different types of physical damage. Worse still, there are 5 types of spell damages that exist that aren't covered by the term magical. Let's take a closer look at both. Physical damage is caused by all regular right-click attacks from all units and even some hero spells. It is reduced by armor and damage block and cannot attack ethereal units, but it's unaffected by magic resistance and immunity. But there's more to this than you'd think. Before armor is even considered, the attack's type is factored in and the overall damage of the attack is either reduced or increased based on the defender's armor type. Normal attacks caused by melee lane creeper or broodmother spiderites, for instance, deal reduced damage to heroes and buildings while dealing increased damage to certain jungle creep. Piercing damage, for instance from ranged lane creep or Venomancer's Venom wards, are heavily punished when attacking buildings, heroes, or most jungle creep, but double damage against light armor, which is why they hit so hard in lane against other creep, but not so bad against players. Siege damage from catapults is similarly bad against heroes and medium armor, does normal damage to light, but against buildings and heavy armor sees a big boost. Lastly, heroes get their own type of damage in armor. It deals 100% across the board except against buildings who have their damage. There are several different types of what we'd consider to be magic damage at a glance. Dota 2 defines magic damage, however, as ignoring armor and block, being reduced by magic resistance, being unable to affect magic immune targets, but dealing 140% damage against ethereal units, and benefits from other forms of amplification such as the Veil of Discord. Looking at the chart, we see that it does 100% damage to all armor types except hero, against which it is reduced slightly. An example of a generic spell would be Lena's Light Strike Array. Pure damage, on the other hand, is a form of magical damage that is unaffected by magical resistance or amplification. It still bypasses armor and block, and like normal magic damage, it cannot affect targets who are magic immune. Examples would include Silencer's Glaives of Wisdom or Invoker's Sunstrike. Chaos damage mirrors hero damage closely in that it does 100% to all targets except buildings, which it is similarly reduced against. Examples include Invoker's Forge Spirits or Roshan. Composite damage, sometimes called mixed damage, is the most difficult to understand. Think of it like magical physical damage. Like physical, it is reduced by armor and block and does not affect ethereal units. It does, however, damage magically immune targets, but despite that, it is reduced by magical resistance. Examples include Alchemist's Acid Spray or Beastmaster's Wild Axes. Lastly, universal damage is best considered as a subtype to magical. It follows all the same rules except that it can target units who are magically immune. The only 3 spells currently in the game that deal this type are Tinker's March of the Machines, Doombringer's Doom, and Enigma's Midnight Pulse. Neither physical or magical, HP removal effects are not damage per se. They work by directly subtracting hit points from the affected units and ignore all forms of damage reduction and immunity. Due to not being damaged, though, they don't interrupt bottle charges or healing salves, and examples include Vengeful Spirit's Wave of Terror or Necrolight's Heartstopper Aura. Understanding damage types, the most important of which being hero, magical, and composite, is critical for being able to figure out what items to buy and who you can and can't easily gank. A lot of players take for granted the nuances of skills their enemies have. On Monday, I'll be going over how to actually gear this way and the phases of the game where you can take advantage of these damage types to really punish your opponents and secure an early lead. So, while there is more to be said on damage interaction, I hope you found this video useful for taking your game to the next level. Remember that it's you who decide the topic, so be sure to post in the comments below what you'd like to see, and subscribe to my channel to be eligible to win. As always though, if you like this video, please thumbs up, share, and subscribe to Dota Cinema and my channel to stay up to date. Until next week, this is XV, signing out.